What if I told you that I had the secret to improving mental health? In fact, this whole time, the secret has been in your pocket. Now, you may have guessed it, but I'm talking about your phone. This would be a really boring talk if I simply said that the key to improving mental health is your phone, and there's more to the story. But before I get into that, why does this even matter? And more importantly, what are some of the challenges that we all face when it comes to our mental health? I refer to it as the SAC of problems. SAC stands for stigma, access, and cost. Stigma as in I might be embarrassed to share what's on my mind, whether to a friend or a professional. Access, who do I even turn to? And if I do seek a professional, will insurance cover it? And cost, if insurance doesn't cover it, it's going to cost me a lot of money out of pocket. So it limits my options. And tonight, through this idea, I hope that we can solve these issues. But time out here for a second. What even gives me the right to stand before you and to say that I had the secret to improving mental health? Because I will tell you, I am not a psychologist, nor am I a therapist. So how dare I stand before you and to say that I have this idea? I have a confession. I didn't come up with these ideas. In fact, two individuals, two psychologists, in the 60s and the 70s, came up with these ideas. Frank Reisman and Fred Newman. Frank Reisman came up with this idea called the helper theory. And what it states is when you help someone, you are in fact benefiting more than the person that you're helping. So let me repeat this. The helper theory is when you help someone, you benefit more than the person that you're helping. Social therapy, on the other hand, was defined as group therapy. However, in one of Fred Newman's early interviews, he even admits maybe there's more to the story than simply defining social therapy as group therapy. Maybe this idea of social therapy could evolve, but he wasn't quite sure how it would necessarily look. So the big idea that I would like to share tonight is imagine taking this idea of helping people and combining it with technology to make it easy to do that. I want you to imagine something for a second. I want you to imagine that you're walking on the beach and you witness these dolphins washed up ashore. What do? Do you simply sit there and watch them struggle? Or knowing that you could do something, do you take action? Or what about this? What if you're in the subway and you witness somebody falling between the platform and the train? What do? Do you just hover over them, hoping that they'll be okay? Or knowing that you could do something, do you try to help them? You see, we as humans have this innate ability to want to help other people. It's in our DNA. If we see an elderly individual slip and fall right in front of us, there's a good chance that we're going to make sure that they're okay. Because it hurts us to see innocent people in pain. But what if we added something else to this? What if we added our own personal life struggles? A couple of years ago, I lost my mom. As you can imagine, it was a tough thing to go through. After her death, I observed something interesting. There would be individuals who I wouldn't necessarily say I was close to, but they would come up to me and say something along the lines of, "Hey, Mike, I too lost a parent, or I too lost a loved one. If you ever need anything, just know that I'm here." And conversely, even today, whenever I hear somebody losing a parent or a loved one, I find myself getting this feeling like if I perceive that person as suffering, that I want to be there for that person because I know what it's like and I know that it's tough. So now imagine taking our life struggles, our life experiences, and to help people that are currently going through it today. But I'm going to have to call another time out here for a second. This is all great in theory, the idea that we can leverage our past life struggles to help people going through it today. But is there a way that we can test this? A few individuals and I are working on this idea called Project Toe. It's a mobile app that allows people to help one another get through life struggles, whether it be depression, addiction, illnesses. And it all stems from the support groups that you either join or that you create. So this is an example of somebody who created a support group after losing a loved one to suicide. So she created this to not only remember this individual, but to act as a resource for the other people in the community to go to if they could relate, if they need to seek advice or help. A lot of people ask us why it's called Project TOE. It doesn't actually stand for anything. I had a friend that was going through some difficult times, and we decided to come up with a code word because it's hard to ask friends and family for help. So while walking on the beach, we decided, why not TOE? And from there, it kind of evolved. Also, what's also great about this is anonymous. This is by the username. So whether you want to help people or you want to seek advice yourself because you're going through something, you don't have to announce it to the world. So it starts the conversation. We have thousands of people using this on a monthly basis with over 600 active support groups just like this one. But my question is this. If I'm going to make the claim that this is going to improve mental health around the world, how is it going to evolve? What's the bigger picture? What is this going to look like in the decades to come? So up until now, I've been focusing on the community, the peer support, the support groups, a community of people helping one another. But as we grow this community, what if this acted as a portal to therapy, whether it be online therapy or face-to-face? Because not only does this improve the access, but helps lower the cost. So we have this community that acts as a portal to therapy, which improves the access, lowers the cost. What if now, because of that, that meant less dependency on the insurance companies, where it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to pay for therapy, to seek a professional, giving us all more options to choose from? And finally, what if we take some of the data here, some of the resources that we're learning, and we go to other communities, offline communities around the world, to teach people how to sustainably handle their own mental health within that community? Because by doing that, this ultimately feeds back into the community and the positive cycle repeats. And this is how we're going to change mental health around the world. And do you remember those sack of problems, the stigma, access, and cost? What about a sack of solutions? One where through this idea, we can lower the stigma, improve the access, which helps bring down the cost. But it starts with you. And tonight, I'd like to leave you with one final thought. A couple weeks ago, out of curiosity, I wanted to see what was my mom's last email to me before she passed away, because she would often send me these really great quotes with pictures on them. And sure enough, a month before she passed, she sent me a quote by Bob Marley that I would like to share with you. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. We have a choice to make. We can either take our past life struggles and to fall victim, to be the victim. Or we could be the lion and to leverage our past life struggles to help people going through the same thing today, to leverage our life resume and to use it as an opportunity to help someone that's going through it today. Because I promise you this, as you begin helping people, you're going to feel really good. But it's as you continue helping people, you're going to ask yourself one of the most powerful questions there is. What else am I capable of? Thank you.